The new Spider-Man Ultimate has just faced his first villain. I'm Will, and in today's video, we'll see how Peter did in his first fight. And we'll also see that someone has already discovered his secret identity. Don't forget to leave your like to help us. If you are not yet subscribed, subscribe to receive the notifications of new videos. And without further ado, let's get to the story. Marvel created a new Ultimate Universe, where Peter did not become Spider-Man when he was young. It turns out that 20 years ago, the Creator, which is a version of Reed Richards' evil, prevented the radioactive spider from biting Peter Parker. He also prevented the creation of any other superheroes and formed a secret council to rule the world of shadows. On a mission to free the world from this Creator's Council, Tony Stark sent Peter, now married and father of 2 children, a package containing the same radioactive spider and a stealth suit to help him. It is worth remembering that in this new world, Uncle Ben is also alive. And after seeing his Uncle Ben and his mentor, Jonah Jameson, leave the newsroom under pressure from newspaper owner Wilson Fisk, who wanted to control the news cycle, Peter felt called to action and let the spider bite him, thus becoming the Ultimate Spider-Man. The chapter begins in February, which means that it has been a few weeks since Peter Parker has allowed himself to be bitten by the radioactive spider. We even have this beautiful panel showing the hero's stealth suit up close. Leave it there in the comments what you think of this suit. Well, since his first appearance, Spider-Man has become news everywhere, including Peter's house. May and Richard argue whether Spider-Man, which is on the cover of Clarim Diary, really exists. Richard thinks not, which is Photoshop, CGI, but the girl, still suspicious, asks for her father's opinion. Peter jokes that May believes in unicorns and his brother doesn't. So why is she worried about his opinion? And that's when the girl reveals that it's because she's afraid of Spider-Man. He's very scary. Knowing this, Peter says he agrees with Richard, so the girl doesn't get scared. Mary Jane gets the conversation right at the end, so she doesn't understand very well, even because she has to run to work. The interesting thing is that before leaving, she comments that Peter is stronger, more muscular, more defined. So Peter apologizes that it's because he's been working out a little. In this, we find out that after becoming Spider-Man, Peter went through that training process. In fact, he's still doing tests. He realizes that his appetite has increased, his need to sleep has decreased, he has become very strong to the point of getting on a bus. He's super agile, not to mention his catchy and cunning skills. However, he still has a problem. After 2 weeks practicing, he's still not good at landing. So much so that we see him taking a huge fall when walking around the buildings. The good thing is that this shows that he's also super resistant. He can take a beating, a serious beating, which can be very useful. Meanwhile, Ben Parker and Jonah Jameson are relaxing in a sauna and also talking about some recent events. They mention the mysterious green-armored watchman who has tried to murder Wilson Fisk several times, which shows that he has a serious determination and that he's probably looking for revenge. The newspaper didn't divulge anything about it. After all, Fisk is practically the owner of the newspaper. Instead, the newspaper concentrates its articles on the mysterious man in a black suit who is swinging around the city. In fact, that photo of Spider-Man in the newspaper was Peter who got it. In other words, there are 2 masked guys and no one knows who they are. One of them is on the front page and the other is hidden. That's why Ben and Jameson understand that Spider-Man is just a distraction while the other is a story. Anyway, they need a name, and Ben already knows where to start. Back to Spider-Man, we see that Peter continues to swing with his webs around the city and doing his landing training. As he does that, Peter wonders if he should try to live his own life, or act like the person he should be before his destiny is taken from him. In this, he makes a perfect landing and ends up seeing a well-equipped criminal with very evident goggles getting ready to break a door. Peter surprises the villain by asking if he lost the keys, accidentally locked himself from the outside, or maybe he's trying to invade the bank below. When the villain asks what Peter should be, Peter simply begins to say that this is what he was thinking. He should be the guy who stops people like this criminal. And when the criminal asks if he has done this before, Peter replies that this is the first time. Then the villain praises Peter, implying that he was born for this. He even says he's going home now because clearly everything he planned was wrong. He thanks Spider-Man for stopping him before he did something he regretted, claiming he didn't want to do it and that he was just desperate. Then he extends his hand to the hero, saying he owes him one. And when Spider-Man also extends his hand to greet him and asks his name, the villain reveals that his name is Shocker and simply fires a powerful shock explosion that hits Spider-Man hard. Due to the distance they were, there was not much for Peter to do. He falls into a trash can feeling a lot of pain, while Shocker takes the opportunity to commit his robbery. A few moments later, Peter returns to his apartment, completely unbelieving that he fell into this. He even calls himself an idiot while he picks up an ice cream can to sweeten his defeat. However, when he looks to the side, he realizes that little May is awake and looking at him completely scared. The girl starts crying very softly, and before she raises her voice, Peter feels forced to reveal his true identity to his daughter so she doesn't wake up the rest of the house. A little calmer, the girl asks why Peter is dressed like the guy from the newspaper, in which Peter jokes that the guy from the newspaper is the one dressed like him. Then Peter reveals that he was bitten by a spider that gave him powers and apologizes for scaring his daughter. The girl still complains about Peter's bad smell that fell into a trash can, and Peter says he plans to reveal his identity to the family soon at the right time. He even buys May's silence with the ice cream can, but she still complains about the suit, saying she doesn't like it, in which Peter says he will consider it. Now we jump to the crime king, who is arguing with Captain Britannia about the presence of two guards, a man dressed in black, and another in a green suit, who is attacking Wilson Fisk. It is worth remembering that Captain Britannia is part of the Council of the Creator. He is also trying to rule the world of shadows. Fisk explains that he has used the media in his favor to distract the population, but Captain Britannia suggests that Fisk use the resources that he and his associates provided to end the dwarf. A little later, Peter stops for a moment to send a text message to MJ, saying that he will have to wait a little longer to return home because some unforeseen events have arisen at work. He returns to that building where he met Shocker and finds the villain leaving with a bag full of money. So Peter confronts him again, saying that Shocker has bad habits, and this time a battle takes place between the two. Shocker hits the ground, forcing Peter to dodge the attack, and then Spider-Man shoots his webs at the villain's face, leaving him a little distracted. While Shocker asks who Spider-Man is, Peter simply hits him, answering that he is the guy who stops villains. Completely defeated, Shocker explains why he is stealing. He says he's doing it because his wife has cancer, and they don't have money to pay for the treatment. This makes Peter feel horrible at first, until he realizes that this is another Shocker lie. But it's too late. Again, Shocker fires a powerful slash that shoots Peter in the gut again. With Spider-Man defeated, Shocker simply runs away again. The detail is that the Green Dwarf was also eyeing the villain. Later, we see a very angry Peter returning home. Peter considers giving up his job as Spider-Man because, in the last few days, he was beaten twice, accidentally revealed his secret identity to his daughter, and worse than that, he scared her. He knows he's not ready for this, However, as soon as he gets home, he sees in the refrigerator a drawing of little May, with the symbol of the spider in red and blue. In other words, it is because of May's influence that Spider-Man will create that traditional costume. In addition, in the message, she says that her father is the best. This leads Peter to try to be a hero for another day. So that's it, guys. The first villain that Spider-Man Ultimate faced was Shocker, and Little May is who will influence the hero to wear a red and blue costume. Thank you very much for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, leave your like, comment, share. Follow us on Instagram to stay up to date with the news. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe. Activate the bell to receive notifications of new videos, and see you next time.